Bet.
Cool.
Okay, so first question. Who are you and what do you do for Graal?
So I'm Ceantix, the developer for Graal. I do like scripting, coding. So I write the code for a lot of different things. I work in a lot of different places. But my main game that I work on is Deltaria. I do have my own server as well, but really my main focus right now is to get Deltaria finished. We're super close. There's just a couple things that we need to get done, like bug fixes and a couple of areas of the game that aren't quite finished yet. Overall, just kind of like I work mostly within scripts. I could show you a bit of that as well. But let's
Show
get to his next one.
show what scripts?
Like how GraalScript works. I could go more in depth on that, but
Show it.
show it. All right. So actually, let me show you something that I wrote. Because I pulled up something to test my scenes earlier, but this is something that I'm writing right now. Essentially, it's a way to load stuff from Unity into Graal. Um, and essentially, the way GraalScript works, I mean, this is pretty complicated if you're just looking to start, but like here, let me pull up something simpler real quick. Uh, Not an event that I was working on here. It's somewhere. It's probably drawing it off screen.
Is Graal script hard to learn?
No, it's not that difficult to learn. It's very similar to something like Java. If you've ever used Java, it's very similar. So like, but the main differences between Java and GraalScript really are that GraalScript it doesn't have types in your variables, so you just have like this, which is on whatever this object is. So like, unless you're focused on a GUI control, this will always be like the weapon script, or the NPC script, or the class script. It will always be like that script unless you're focused on some other object with something like there's a thing called width. Um, and so with width, you can have something where you focus in on a control, and then this will replace this, but temp will always be a temporary variable. That's for the function. So when you make a temporary variable, like this one here, essentially the temporary variable will persist until the end of your function, until here basically in this one. But um, I know, like, I could get into the nitty gritty all day, but I don't want to take up too much time. You can do a nitty gritty. Um, but yeah, I guess if you want to move on to the next one.
Yes, please, bro. I did not understand any of that.
Yeah, like you probably it gets it's a very simple language overall, like how you do things, but like um once you get good is when it gets complicated. Um, yeah, I don't know if I have a simpler script that I can show here real quick. Maybe on my own server too. Anyway, so I guess Zaya, here you asked a question.
Got you. When did you start playing Graal?
So I started playing Graal really back in 2014. So I started a little bit after, but um, essentially I started playing Graal because a friend in real life came over to my house and he showed me the game, essentially. And I had like an old iPod. Actually, fun fact, it's in a different case right now, but I have the old iPod that I originally started on right here. Um, but I started playing on the iPod on Era iPhone, and it wasn't till later that I found out about Player Worlds, because with Player Worlds, you can make like Rawl's main like I guess development platform right now is Player Worlds, because Player worlds used to be like where most of the players were originally, but later it moved because of the servers to be on like
Mobile.
more of a development platform because it was less used for players to log in from because mobile really took over. Essentially, like I started playing Graal on or iPhone on mobile, and then later I was actually browsing through the Player World site. If you do want to see what that looks like, it's like this. Actually, still on. Essentially, I was browsing through the Graal site, and I was like, "Ooh, what's Player Worlds?" So I downloaded it, and I logged on, and um, eventually it looks something like this if you download it from the website originally. Um, so I went through, logged in, and I was like, I saw these servers here, and then essentially some take or default account had asked me to come and help make this game with him. And at the time, I had absolutely no idea how to develop stuff on Graal. But essentially, Take invited me to come and join Planet Base, which is really how I got into scripting because he needed me to write all the code for the whole server. So I essentially started there with development on Graal. And still not in a state where I'd say it's completed or really ready to show, but that was really the server that I had essentially taught myself how to code during the 2020 pandemic. But yeah, essentially from there, I had just gotten better and better and better by putting in a lot of time and commitment because essentially, like, what I was doing was I would pick a system to do, and I would just figure out how to do it. Like, if you really want to learn how to script and learn how to code, just pick something that you're interested in making and just figure out how to make it. Like with Graal, they have this. Accidentally went to the page before, but they have this page called Graal Bible. You could go on here, and if you go to the scripting section, so it's under creation and then scripting, and here this will show you like everything. So like you have the GUI controls, you have all the script functions, so they're all listed here. But really, your best friend is going to be running this script help command inside RC, so /script help. And then whatever your search is, this will be your best friend if you really want to learn because you can search for anything. Like you could search for, I don't know, we could search for like player, and it'll show us like right in here everything about the player, and pretty much anything that contains player. But yeah, that's essentially how I got into Graal, and also a little bit into how I got into scripting specifically.
What year did you join?
Like Graal?
Yeah.
Oh, I had joined a bit later, in 2014.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if you caught that earlier.
No, I joined in 2013, but got into Old West in 2014.
Yeah, like I had joined Era, but I hadn't really played a lot of the other servers until much later because like I was like Arrow had a lot of players, and so I was really focused on Arrow for a long time. It's still, I guess, really am like I still play Arrow, right? I never really stopped playing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the weird thing is I've never quit in all that time, so like like I've never like quit and then come back. Like I've just kind of continued to play. Um, but like I started on Era, and I guess it wasn't really until later. Like I've played a little bit of each of the other servers, but like other than the only other servers I guess I've gotten fully invested in is really like Era Legacy and Era Legacy, Zone, and Deltaria are really the only ones that I've really played to an extent where I could say that I'm like good at the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess part of it is also because those other servers have let me come on and develop their server content specifically for a long period of time. Um, so like On Era Legacy right now, I'm developing the 60 FPS stuff for them right now. And like for Zone, I developed the only chunk of the revamp to release at this time, which is the Eritrea map, I think is how you say it. But essentially, that area was something that I had uh, written pretty because for Zone there really was no other developer. You know, I was the only one on the server, so I had essentially written what was all the code that needed to be written for that area to be built. Drake's had done the levels, and Ol had done some of the Ganis, but I had also done some of the Ganis myself too, for that part of the revamp. And Deltario, really, I'm really just finishing the game at this point. I hadn't really played Deltario a lot before, but and kind of a weird thing is that, so like, I was working on Planet Base, and Drake's pulled me over and said, "Hey, are you interested in working on Zone?" And that's kind of how I got into Zone, because Drake saw that I was working on that like space themed server, and so he was like, "Hey, you know, Zone needs help. You should come work on Zone." And so that's kind of how I started there. And then from Zone, I met Ol, and Ol said, because
Who's old?
OEL, I couldn't really get access to a lot of stuff on Zone, and OEL saw how I was working on it, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come over and work on Deltaria?" And that's basically how I started on Deltaria, was, "Hey, you know, we have this nice place, you should come and work on it," you know? Um,
And you were the guy that made the 60 FPS?
yeah, so with 60 FPS, I had developed it originally on Planet Base about 3 years ago. But see, I didn't originally make it. With 60 FPS, it was originally made by someone previous who had left Graal, but it was never finished. So it was like, it was left kind of like half done. So I had gone and experimented a lot with it, like a lot, to get it to a point where, and I had worked heavily with Marlene on it as well, where, because at first, like, Ghani's weren't being done right. They were like, the Ghani would run at whatever frame rate the client was running at, rather than being static and running at 20 frames a second. So all of the Ghanis were fast. Um, and another big thing was the stability, because the frame rate originally, when we first started working on it, like picked up from what the person before had left off on, was it was very unstable. So like it would run at 60, but then it would dip down and it would run at like 40 for a couple frames, or 30. It was like, it was very unstable. But we were able to fix a lot of the instability by integrating more and more pieces, actually with Unity, because like what had happened was is that stuff was running based on like Graal's tick time for things, but we had to change a lot of that to run within Unity's tick time as opposed to Graal's, um, because um, the like with Graal in Unity, right? It's essentially like when you have stuff in Graal, right? It before it was running in Graal's like own loops. So if you think about a game, right? A game is, everything in a game runs in a loop, right? So you have
Mm-hmm.
one loop, right? But see, because there's two separate engines, we had two loops. And so some of the stuff was running in Graal's loop, and some of the stuff was running in Unity's loop. And that's where we were having the problem with the instability, because we had to move more things so that Unity's loop would query it to run in Graal. So that's what we were doing with like forcing the Unity loop speed rather than using the one determined by Graal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that makes sense. It's a very, it's a complicated concept. It's not something that is necessarily easily understandable, but Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
kind of a
understand.
weird situation.
Did you so you
But
basically
with
perfected it, the 60 FPS?
essentially, yeah, essentially perfected it so that it could be stable and released.
Bet. I'm just trying to come up with a clickbaity thumbnail title right now. So
Uh yeah, see, for controller support, I had a lot more input in controller support. Um, like with 60 FPS, I didn't exactly make the whole thing, but I mostly made controller support. I know a couple other people helped me on it, but I had really made controller support pretty much myself. Like with controller support, there was the only controller support that was in Graal originally was with the version 5 of the Graal client, but that never really made it to mobile because it used some custom options that were only on PC. But with controller support, we essentially did it from the ground up. So the way controller support works in Graal is um, in Unity's loop, we're catching the controller input from Unity, and then we're passing it over to Graal so that it can invoke whatever is being done in Graal. So we'll check the sticks and the axes, and I can show you this stuff too. Actually, I was building the system in which the controllers can rebind. So a little insight into that. So this is my system, right? And essentially in here, um, what I'm doing is, on so like Unity has an event. Uh, here on update. So on update is called from Unity into Graal. And essentially, in here, I check if its input is disabled right now, or if we're currently binding a control. Let's not run our normal input stuff. But essentially in here, what this does is it looks really complicated, but I can break it down, and it's not that complicated. Essentially, what it does is it loops through all the keys that it's supposed to check, all the binds, and then once it gets the bind in this rebindable system that I'm making, uh, it will get the key, which will get the controller buttons, or over here it will get the axis, which is the stick. Um, so essentially, like this was the system that I was currently writing in order to make the rebindable input work. Just within the client itself, I hadn't set up a menu for this because I didn't need a menu to debug it yet. But I will be making a menu to attach to this so that you could rebind via a menu. But essentially, this would also be the code that would be needed to be placed on the iPhone servers in order for something like controller support on mobile to work, because what we were doing in Steam, you could remap the controller so that you could um, change the layout of it. But with mobile, you don't have Steam and you don't have the Steam overlay, so we have to make a system that's in the game to change these bindings and swap them out, because it's not already, like, we don't have anything that's already built for that. It has to be built from scratch.
hmm
But yeah, really for controller support, I have done a lot more to get that to work, because that wasn't built at all previously. Like, this had to be all figured out from scratch.
hmm
Um, but yeah, I'm excited to get because what I do really is I'll write the system, and then I'll pass it over to the server developers, and then they can figure out how to implement it on their game. So like, I'll pass this stuff over to Era, and the Era developers will figure out how to integrate that into Era and make it work with that server systems, because each server works differently script wise. And so I can generally write code that will work on all of them, but they just have to figure out how their server differs to implement that kind of stuff. Uh, but yeah, this is also kind of why um, I know it's possible to click faster on controller than it is on a keyboard, and that's largely due to that the keyboard is running at graal's polling rate to pull for the keys to check when the keys are pressed. Um, Whereas the controller is running all through Unity, so it doesn't use anything like for graal's polling rate, and that's why you're able to like fire stuff faster because it's running at Unity's rate of fire instead of graal's.
Okay, so
Uh,
so it's just
yeah,
nerd stuff. Okay.
nerd stuff basically. Yeah. Um, for how it actually like works, it's all nerd stuff.
Jeez Louise, man. All I see is.
Yeah, all you see is like, and like to rebind too, like this was how I was building it to fire the events and stuff, and to set up all the bindings. This isn't final yet, but yeah, it's but also even to rebind the controller, I have to make an array up here of like all the possible buttons you could click, and then check them all when you're searching for a binding.
So that's all controller support.
Yeah, yeah. This isn't the exact stuff that is on Era right now. This is the future for what will be implemented essentially to remap the controller schemes and stuff.
Okay, okay, okay.
Like what's on Era right now is that they're hard coding what keys are what instead of having it um like save the key you're using to a variable and then like see if that key is pressed based on that variable. Like they're not fully doing that. IMS was trying to make something, but it's far from completion as of right now.
Okay, 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 okay.
Even my thing isn't close to completion. It works generally, but it's not really finished yet.
What's your favorite thing to do on Grawl?
Favorite thing to do? It has to be scripting by a long shot. It's a lot of fun because like this might seem kind of boring maybe like with controller stuff, but it's really a lot of fun because you can make whatever you want. You like are when you program and code on Graal, you don't have any limitations really. You can just make anything. Like as long as you can sit down and figure out how it works and you learn how to do it, really you can commit to basically you can make anything on Graal. um, you know, like there is no limit. The only limit is how much you can learn and do, essentially.
Mm.
Um, like, um, I guess some of the um, more interesting projects that I've done, definitely the zone revamp is a very interesting one because um, like I had integrated a lot of stuff that specifically I wanted to integrate, like the fact that you could hit the rock from any side. That was something that I was like, ooh, I could do that, and that's interesting. And I can pull that up too.
They said the
Uh,
zone revamp was going to happen in 2023, which is like I was in 2022. They said it was going to happen next year. Next year was 2023. So,
yep. And essentially, I had released part of it, but I couldn't release the whole thing because of some stuff that happened on Zone. Um, but yeah, as of right now, I can't speak for them, but as I know right now, I don't know if they can realistically complete much more of the revamp because
coming
from what I
soon.
know,
Bro, if you don't scroll
like
down, let's see when was that posted, bro.
what the
when
they haven't updated the Facebook in a very long time.
hold on. Search up the gang NFS, bro.
NFS?
Yeah, NFS. No, like NFS.
Like
You got the other letter. You put
like
I in FS.
NFS?
It's just like the letter N and then F and then S. So basically, if you're in
Oh.
trades, it's not for sale.
Oh wait, NFS. Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
there.
Yeah. Ah,
Hey,
here. Sub to Wizardly Zion.
Hey, let me see. Let me see. When was the last time I logged on?
You logged on?
Jeez.
160 days ago.
Yeah, bro. That game is not it.
Zone. I feel so awful for Zone because, like, I mean, there is no developer on Zone right now. There's Schmeg, but Schmeg doesn't really do anything. You know, at least from what I've heard, he seems to not really be active at all. Whereas, like for me, like I was on Zone when I was staff. I was on Zone like every single day,
The hell are you
working
at,
on
bro?
stuff. This map sometimes doesn't load.
Sometimes it load. A lot of stuff on Zone doesn't work, bro.
A lot of stuff on Zone doesn't work. Zone like Zone is just so broken
That's new.
because yeah, this map here is all new. This was the area that I had built on Zone that I was talking about.
No wonder it's so good. Jeez.
Exactly. See this? I don't have a pickaxe on this account. I'd have to log into my other account. But this these rocks you can hit them from any side here. These ones. You can hit them from any side and as well as like I made the system so that it could have a lot more added to it even after the fact. So I had made it so that you could have other types of pickaxes, other types of rocks. You could have other stuff that you get from them. I had made basically the entire system expandable so that if they wanted to add more to this mining system, they could do it without the need of a scripter, was how I had structured this system. You could just straight up, there was a bunch of fields at the top, you could replace all of them and paste it into another script, and that would become the new rock or whatever. Um, but yeah, we also made this underground crystal caverns, which of course it's probably not going to load. There it goes. Uh, but yeah, in here there's a drill as well you could acquire, and but you do have to be like a certain level. I believe you have to mine like a certain number of rocks before you can actually hit the ones in here. You have to mine a certain number outside. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel so bad for Zone because like I can't do anything with it anymore as of right now. Um,
Bro, you can't even tag on a game effectively. Like, you have to tag on. You have to, like, keep pressing it,
yeah,
right? Keep
or
pressing it till it
something like
eventually
that. I
happens.
don't know. I don't know. Zone is the most broken right now because Zone hasn't. I was the last scripter on Zone, and I'm certain Zone hasn't had a proper scripter in at least 5 years. At least, other than me as of right now. Like that actually understands how the stuff works.
Yeah, Old West is at least improving. Go to Old West, bro.
Oh yeah, Old West. Old West is like on fire right now. Old West I think is probably one of the most actively developed servers at the moment. And I don't even know how the heck they do it.
iMagic.
One sec. iMagic? I don't even think so. Maybe iMagic, but
Ever,
like,
ever since iMagic came into power and Orange was like replaced, whatever, it's been like
yeah,
hella good updates.
yeah. Like I see, like right now, Avenger. It has to be iMagic. There's no other way. Um,
Avenger,
Avenger has continued from iMagic. I feel like. So
what?
I mean, iMagic was really good, but then now Avenger is the server developer on West.
Oh, for real? I could have sworn last time I talked to Avenger, he was a deputy.
Nah, well, he originally started as a deputy, but then iMagic spent a lot of time to teach him as well as he practiced a lot on his own. So now he's really the main dev for West.
That's nice. That's nice. Learn the basics, bro. Learn the basics, bro.
Learn the basics. Yeah, the fact that they have a whole tutorial is on another level compared to Arrow, which like it's just like okay, learn to fire, learn to walk. Okay, you're out of here.
That tutorial broken looks like.
Run ahead to the bank. Oh, it has steps.
Nah,
Yeah, so I have to like kill the little animal or whatever. Then I have to like
bro. They
catch the
never.
fly.
Last time I saw animals that you could actually mess with in Old West was like 2015 or 2014. One of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, and they have like this whole system up here with like the chat.
Great.
That's so cool. Oh my god. This tutorial is how you should be doing a tutorial. Tap
Tap your
on your
player.
player.
Uh,
Inventory. I assume it's just in here somewhere or something. I guess this is the point where I get lost, but
tap on your player.
it's there where it's trying to guide me. Anyway. Um
Get to the
but
main
yeah,
game already, bro.
yeah, here, you know what? I'm just gonna
Reload.
yeah, or I'm just gonna log in. Not resizing. Okay, well that's another bug I need to fix. Anyway. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cast my other monitor. That's okay, we'll play on this one. I don't know how the quality is, it probably will be a lot worse. Sadly, but at least it's working though.
Jeez, bro.
Rather
Old
than
West is so empty.
yeah, oh my gosh.
Is that Mark? Go to that
Mark?
sign.
Yeah, yeah, they did what they did like on Era, like with the creators here.
Oh, that's crazy. And Mark used to base with me, bro.
Ah, yeah.
He's a OG
Mark's
member.
Mark still plays a lot.
Yeah, the rest of us left. Search up my
Yeah,
name
I think
or search up
I mean,
Van Dice. VANDICE.
are you like the leader? Yeah.
Wait. Double tap me. Like go back. Press the back button and double tap me. What the
What do you
hell?
mean like it just opens your profile?
It's go back all the way. Oh no. What the?
That's okay.
But I paused the recording, so right now it's at 37 minutes and 28 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should try and figure out. I mean, we can also like redo it if needed.
Redo it. 37? No, I'm not doing that. No.
But I don't want you to have to spend a lot of time cutting it down. You know, I feel bad
Nah,
now.
I spend more time making montages than doing this.
Yeah, I just don't know if you want to cut down the interview. Like, I feel like I'm talking a lot of random stuff rather than
Nah,
it
bro.
being structured. You know.
More yapping, more content.
Exactly.
Go to gang based relations. There we go.
Because can you only lead one gang?
Yeah, and then the rest
Ah,
it's in Graal. Like you can only lead one
yeah.
guild and everything else, and the rest um you have to
Yeah.
like make alts and
Use
everything.
alts. Yeah.
So look at the map real quick.
Yeah. Mhm. I believe it's on a key, but I don't remember it.
At the letter M. Like so they said they were gonna add a new base, right? And then they
Oh,
didn't
that's weird. It
add the
doesn't work, dude. It
they
works. You
they
close
didn't
it.
add the new base until like a year or two later. Yes, I'm still there. I hate that.
It's probably because I'm in the job area.
No, it's because you're just standing in one place for a certain amount of time, probably like 10 minutes.
Ah,
I guess it's to reduce the bandwidth.
something like that, maybe. I'm not
But
sure.
look at PK Island, bro. That's supposed to be a new base. Like, okay, press the base tab.
Yeah.
And it's closed. Like, they close
Yeah.
certain bases and they open
Mm-hmm.
certain bases. But the PK Island base, Tombstone base, it sucks, dude. It really sucks because you have to have like at least like 5 people with you, 5 or 4 people with you to successfully take over the base.
Even if there's like no one actually holding it.
Exactly, yeah. Like
Yeah.
like if there's one person in the flag room, you're gonna have like I think 5 or 6 people to like take over the base successfully. And if
Yeah.
one of those people go off, then the rest of you have to stop, unless you want to find another person. which sucks because
Yeah.
why would you add a base like that if the player count is not high? Because like the player count, I think it's like 46 or something, 50.
Yeah.
It's not even two full tags. Wait, 25, 50. Yeah, it's not even two full
There's
tags.
like 41 online right now.
Exactly, and like that's not even two full tags.
Yeah.
Jeez, they added
Yeah,
like
to have 5 people take a base, that'd be like 1/4 the player count is fighting to take a base or something, you know? If there's 10
exactly,
people.
and majority
Yeah.
majority of the people inside of there is like on the game is inside a train station right now, either train station or Battleford
Yeah.
or Mohawk, and the rest is
Yeah, like I think I can see I think everyone. Yeah. Look at the players. Yeah, you can see where most people are, I suppose.
yeah. That's because they're outside. Like
Yeah.
there's no workers. As you can see, the fish area right there, where the people usually fish. There's
Yeah,
nobody
over
there,
here. There's nobody
and they
here.
used to be very populated. I see they updated it too.
This area?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They updated the whole system too. Like now, like you actually like cast a rod out and stuff, and like catch the ones in here. It's really like how I put the rod. Yeah, for like
That been a thing since like years.
yeah, like you cast the rod out and then it, like you pull it back and you actually get them to bite. Like this one might bite. Let's see,
Click it, bro. Click, click. Aw.
Ah, I messed up.
And then the fish starts bugging
It's
out.
too late now. Yeah.
Like when they bite and they don't take it, the fish starts bugging out and just going crazy.
Ah, yeah. Let's see if I can get this one over here. Oop, got it.
Oh, sea
Ah,
chest.
totally.
Get
Yeah,
it,
I
get it.
got it, but oh, I got a chest?
Yeah.
Damn.
When it's a square like that, you get a chest.
Where does it even go in the inventory?
Um, jobs.
Yeah, maybe jobs, fishing. Yeah, sea chest. Yeah.
And you might get a trident.
Let's see. Hold on, hold on. Let me open it. Let's see. Oop, I don't know
Okay,
what I
that's
got.
lame.
What did I just get? Hold on.
You probably got
Oh, it's
dropped.
Chris. He's on. A cool thing as well with Graal is there's cross server PMs. So like if someone PMs me on like Era, it'll show up on West too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small feature that most people probably don't know about, but yeah, you can cross server PM.
I know
And if
about
they have
that.
a profile, like Chris, I don't know if he has a profile on here, but if I go to like
Messages.
messages, pull up his message, you know, if he has
And
a
if
profile,
it's
like
the
it'll
same,
show up.
yeah, and if it's the
Yeah,
same
like this is
thing,
his
like,
account. Yeah.
but only works if the same email is connected.
Yeah, it only works with the same email. Yeah. On both servers. If you're using a different email for a different one, then yeah, you won't be able to see, but
Nah, and then if you go inside the bases, right? They changed the
yeah.
bases. Not now. Bank is like a G map.
Yeah.
Battleford. I don't. That's changed. Well, not Battleford, but Blackwood.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it used to be
It's gotten a
populated.
lot different. Yeah.
Like it used to be really populated, but now it's not. It's see what I think is because of the 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 jailing, the admin abuse, because it was heavy jailing. Murdoch
Uh,
Murdoch once jailed me here, but it wasn't admin abuse. It was just me harassing him. That's all. Jeez, they changed a
yeah.
lot. Blacksmith.
Yeah. Yeah, what is the blacksmith over there? Open updates are available on your
Oh, that
Discord.
was the crafting place.
Ah,
But then,
you
like
need
the
to bring me
crafting
a
place
gun.
that they said that there was gonna be coming soon with.
Yeah.
it's just gonna if you pull out the gun and you press it, it's just gonna give you the stats like fire rate S or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'll pull out a gun. weapons, guns, be like peacekeeper or whatever, you know. Yeah, yeah, like that.
It's lame.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, you know what? I'd really like to see something like this on Era somewhere to see all the stats. Because right now on Era, there's no way to, like, as a player, to view most of the stats. Like, we can trick the game to calculate some of them. But, what is this here? Oh, the blacksmith. But yeah, I'd love for there to be a way to, like, view all the info on the items. Because it does exist like that in the database, you know?
Mm-hmm.
View, but yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to be able to see them in some way.
Gang museum.
Yeah, Gang Museum. There's so much they've changed, and West is like, I swear they're developing like they have like 10,000 players on the game right now.
Although you Mark,
But
bro's making it. Bro's a celebrity now.
yeah,
Now
Rose
that's
is a
crazy
celebrity
though.
now.
Our gang, which is Glow Bosses, right? You can like search that up too. Um,
Yeah,
Search that up real quick. Glow Bosses.
yeah,
Yeah. So majority of us. Eh,
probably just don't play anymore.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. Like we used to take over the map with. We used to be the number one PK gang and everything else.
Yeah.
JP, the only person I talked in there is JP now. So I had to block him today because he kept calling me, but I unblocked him earlier.
Yeah.
But he we used to be, and Mark used to be a part of it too. Like majority of us, we used to be like PKers or whatever. But now
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
just doing our own thing. Like Mark used to be a member. Zinzin, there's a gang called Zinzin. Um,
Hmm.
you can search that up too. That used to be the Brazilian branch. No, like with the E.
Oh.
That was the that's was the Brazilian branch of Glow Bosses. You know, they was Brazilians. So
Ah.
because we have Brazilian speakers in our gang, so we wanted to like make another gang where it's a Brazilian speaking gang, Portuguese speaking gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but it used to be alive. Like they
Yeah.
added a lot of stuff, but there's not a lot of players to like experience it, because they
Yeah.
jailed them.
Because
Jeez, they jailed them, bro.
maybe not all of them. I think probably majority
But
just
a
straight up
big majority, bro.
just don't play anymore. You
No,
know.
no, I remember this one guy. This one guy, he said something about he showed me a screenshot, right? And it was a screenshot of him in jail, right? And
Yeah.
he and the jail reason was um altering error files or whatever, which
Error files on the West.
yeah, exactly. It was altering error files, and the jail length was
Yeah.
like 100,000 hours, 147,000 hours,
Heck.
and he said, "Man, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit." And then I said, "Appeal on Tunis Lab," and then he said, I did, but they're not responding." And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's how people they quit and everything. And then there was another aspect where some guy got banned just because they was dressing like certain people. Like, well, it was me. And I was that some guy, but I got banned for dressing like this certain group of people, right?
Yeah.
And the certain group of people was like hackers and everything. Like they
Ah.
they had they had my head that I have on right now, but
Yeah.
it was like the noob head, like the red bandana, then the green
Yeah.
bandana,
Yeah.
and they had that head, and um they were like hacking, like they were giving themselves growlets, giving themselves manager tag, which is basically
Oh dang.
they said they just used the command set tag manager or set tag president or set tag anything, and then they'll color
Yeah.
their tag to make themselves like admins and everything. So Yeah, well,
Ah,
they were bad. But since I looked like
yeah.
them, I had to get banned too. So they didn't investigate. They didn't do nothing. I just looked like them. Like,
Dang.
but at least I didn't get banned for like years and years because I got banned for It said I got banned for hacking on my
Yeah.
other account, and the one you just searched, when the one you just looked at, and
Yeah.
it was it was for 52,000 hours. And every time I
Dang.
would try to appeal it, they would like either deny my appeal or just flat out ignore it. You know.
Yeah.
So I would have to like, I was like, I just quit. I'll just quit. And
Yeah.
I quit, and I couldn't. I would never. I didn't go back to Old West until somebody told me that Wingsfield decided to unban every single account, and
Yeah.
so I was back. But that didn't help the game. It helped the game somewhat, but it didn't heal it completely because the damage was already done.
Yeah. It's too late.
Exactly. So
Once.
now that hiring board, that's where I spawned from. Every time I log on, I just spawn from there, that area, because every time, the only times I come on Graal West is when I want to apply for levels. So
Ah. Yeah.
either levels
The
or
hiring board
deputy.
over here. Yeah. You see, there's so many people who come to like log on West to like I see so many people on testbed like looking to apply. I think it's really because they make these hiring boards front and center. I think that's what they're doing right that every other server isn't doing. Like the other servers, they don't have like a hiring board at all. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're just like, you know, go into like this weird building in some really like like this area that's like you wouldn't normally enter, and then you can apply. You know, like you
Mm-hmm.
have to like want to do it beforehand. And so like I think that most players just don't see that there are these other areas of development other than just you know, PR or patrolling. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's more than just patrolling. And I think that people as well don't realize how easy it is to get into the other areas too. Like, just like if you want to, um, uh, you know, to open another one here, but if you want to, you know, like go and explore another area of development, testbed is a great place. I've been running it practically myself at this point, and I've been approving applications like usually twice a day. I'll look through the applications, and pretty much anyone gets approved. There's no denying you to get access to testbed. It's really simple to if you do want to looking to get access. It's essentially you just log on to the server. You press F7, which pulls up this little player list here, and once you do that, there'll be like the server will be here, and there'll be a message, and so you just read the rules, and then it'll explain how you apply in the rules as well. There's like a Discord link in there. Um, it'll take you to a channel in our the Graal official server. It'll take you to a channel in there, and then you can apply if you're interested in any of the other areas as well, because you can't really explore them unless you have access to a server. But testbed is really just an open place where anybody can come in and try out whatever they want. Um, but yeah, I mean, as for Deltaria, I mean, if you're interested in it, I could probably bring this back to my other monitor because Deltaria isn't bugged, um, like how West was bugged. So for Deltaria, Um, the server is mostly completed. If you're interested in Deltaria, I mean, um, the only thing about Deltaria is there's a couple of things that are bugged or not working at the moment, but overall, I mean, it's pretty much complete. Uh, like our map is huge compared to anything else. Uh, I guess it's huge, but the idea is that players are contained to a certain area when they start out, and then you kind of continue to go and explore and unlock more of the game. So it's not It's not just you have this huge area that's like really big, but like it's it makes sense for how big it is, you know.
Mhm.
Um, Considering that, we anticipate a lot of players to log on here, especially day one. Uh, and but no, I'm excited for what's to come too, other than just you know small improvements like um, because like what Graal really needs right now is not more weapons in the existing games. They need to like actually make new stuff to do. I think is where they're especially lacking right now. That a lot of servers can improve on is literally just making new things to do in the game, build onto what's already there. Um, but
Okay.
yeah, I guess.
So do you own Deltaria, or what's your job position in Deltaria?
So I'm really the as of right now, I'm really the like I'm a developer of Jetaria. I'm not really the main developer. The main developer is Carlito, but Carlito is kind of focused on other projects right now. So I guess in a way, I'm the main Deltaria developer. Because I'm really the one who's really actively working on Deltaria right now, whereas Carlito is focused more on the new stuff for player worlds and new stuff for um, he's working on his RC project, which was shown off a little bit, um, which was that he's making a new version of RC that was entirely written from scratch. Um, but yeah, as of right now, Carlito is really the main developer, and I'm really just below him. But he's not really active on developing Deltaria, uh, so like he's really there. Like he gives me access to stuff as well as like Warlord is the manager of Deltaria. Um, but yeah, Warlord and Leto are both, as of right now, pretty busy with some other stuff. So I've been handling most of what's left on Deltaria as well, uh, just because they're not around.
Okay, so do you what's the staff like on Era?
On Era,
Mhm.
uh, I can't really speak for a lot of Era staff, like what it's like to work. Like I can tell you what it's like to work on Era, but like, because I did work on Era at one point. Um, but like I can't speak for how it is as of right now, but I'd say like when you work on a server like Era, um, you you have to do like your normal development, and then you have to cater for what players expect you to make as well. Um, and if you don't if you promise something and you don't deliver on it, it can be really chaotic because um, players are expecting something, and if you say it's going to be done by then, or we're going to release these updates, in these time frames, it can be difficult to deliver on those things as well because it may not be ready and done by the time we anticipate. So really, a lot of stuff is kept behind wraps because um, like you can't let players know because they'll continue to ask you, oh, when is it going to be done, when is it going to be done,
Mhm.
uh, so and I guess like the stuff you have told them about is really your number one priority because you need to get that done so that your players can start doing that. So like really, like with any active server that's already out, you have to maintain the server. Like you have to provide the regular updates, plus do whatever content updates you want to do to like add gameplay or add, maybe another large chunk of the game, right? Um, and so I see that, with the low amount of staff right now on Graal, like as a whole, like to give you a reference for a minute, there's really only like 10 people who know how to script well and who are like actively working on servers. Like for perspective for a minute, um, there's really not that many people who are um, like doing writing code for Graal at the moment. So it's kind of difficult to manage this, the regular updates plus all the content updates. Really, with most servers, they just have a solo developer, working on them. But like really the way it worked on here is we all kind of help each other out. So like if I have a question about something, maybe someone on Classic could answer me about how that works, or maybe someone else from Era might be able to help me with this part of this, because they worked on this before, so um yeah, there's really only one person really working on each server per se, or two, like one or two people per server, like script wise, but we really just all kind of help each other out when we have questions, amongst ourselves. And that's another good thing too, is that like we make those chats public. Like we don't, like when we have questions about things, we usually don't message each other directly. We usually go through the official server because it's good, because other even like people who are learning can learn from what we're actually doing development wise. So like if you look through the official server, the scripting chats and stuff is really where we're asking each other like how we can do this or how we can do that, um, it's just an open place where you can ask stuff, um, like in the development section, because you can pick up one of the enthusiast roles in the official server, and that'll give you access to like the Ghani's channel or the graphics channel or the levels chat. And so really if you have questions, you can really put it towards whoever is most specialized in that area. So like if you post it in the levels chat, someone who's really knowledgeable about levels will be able to get back to you on it. And I think that's also another good thing, because while Graal does have documentation about how things are done, it's not exactly good or fully up to date at the moment. So it's really good to just be able to ask someone, because someone might know something that isn't written down anywhere, but will help you figure out what you need to do. So that's really beneficial. Other than just like searching the documentation and searching the Graal forums is another great place to search through. Though you can't find results from there on Google, so you have to use something else like Bing or Start Page.
What?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. So like the Graal forums, the original old Graal forums, you can't search through them on Google.
Alright.
But if you search through them on another search engine, you'll be able to find results from there. I find Bing, or there's another search engine called Start Page. I find they're really the best for the search results through there. But let's see if I can.
What's your opinion on
I got my mouse stuck somewhere. It's like up here.
what's your opinion
There we go.
on them, on a majority of the staff having god complexes?
Like majority of the stuff have what?
God complexes.
Like, what do you mean? Like a area for themselves, or like?
Let me look up the definition real quick.
Oh, like that they're like. I
It,
see.
it is
Yeah, that they.
a pattern in which an individual believes they have great power, ability, infallibility, influence, and are superior to others.
Um. So here's how I feel about it. Is like, see those who are usually like that are, I mean, it's a hard way. It's a hard topic, I guess.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, so like really with I guess staff who are like that, right? Um, really it's just that in the end, from what I've seen, I, I mean they don't really go as far as others. I feel like those who are really like rather than being like what's the word for it?
Cocky.
Like yeah, like if you're like cocky, like people won't like you, you know? Like other people won't like you because you're like that, and it leads to you ending up getting a bad rap. Like oh he's like full of himself and like cocky, you know, he's not like you end up just getting a bad rap, and then you don't really can't do as much with that. But it depends. I mean, it depends on the situation really, but like you're never gonna have a perfect bunch, you know? You're always gonna have a bad apple in the bunch. So I feel like that kind of falls into like usually those people like you'll hear from them more, but usually they're like the bad apple in the bunch, you know?
Hmm.
But you'll never end up having a perfect bunch, right? Of perfect people working on everything. So it's expected in a way, um but yeah, like I get that. Like this it's not perfect with everything like that, you know. And you can't exactly change people either, you know.
Hmm.
Just I just roll with it basically, you know. I'm just like, okay. You know, with whatever it is and
What's your
um
opinion on the community?
I think as of right now it's kind of broken.
Yeah, very broken.
Very broken because in general the whole community, right? Um like it all kind of stems from the top, right? With the developers, you know, lack of developers, you know, you can't build new stuff, so you have to recycle old content because you can't build new. Um, and so I feel like that's kind of led to circles where the community gets upset because, you know, the game there's nothing new, you know, it's just old content that's recycled in some other way. Uh, like I feel like a lot of it has really just comes down to that right now on most servers, you know, there is truly nothing completely new to do. And years on some servers, and I feel like that's kind of led to it kind of breaking up. Not like breaking up, but like it's kind of led to the like a degradation of some extent to the community that stuff is just recycled in the games, you know?
Yeah, like
Um,
the community for me personally, um,
yeah.
is toxic for no reason.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, especially Era. I feel like other servers, the community is very not as toxic. Like, I feel like Era, just because of how the game is structured and how it works, I feel like that, especially the Era community, has become very toxic.
oh,
Um,
100%. Like, for example,
and Oh West a little bit too has fallen into that, but that's because of how those games are structured. You know, they don't really build things like teamwork and working together. They build the structure to where you all fight against each other, you know,
yeah,
and I think
get
that's
better
kind of
weapons and you're now I'm better than you. So,
yeah, they've led to like the style of gameplay from certain servers has led to where players are fighting against each other, and it expands outside of just the game, you know, it expands to yeah the Discord, you know, other chats, you know,
yeah, let me.
structured around gangs, you know, it's not just in one area, you know, so it's hard for me necessarily to sum up the full extent of it, but like generally um you know, the community has become toxic because of certain gameplay elements, you know?
Yeah, like for example, like the fakeness, right? If
Yeah.
you're a pro and somebody that doesn't like you is your friend or whatever, which I don't know why would
Yeah.
they be your friend. Um, they would talk mess behind your back and everything, like for no reason though, for no reason at all. Like
Yeah.
they'll just if they see somebody else talk mess, they'll join in on it. But other than that, they'll just talk mess just cause. Like I think this person was
Yeah.
talking mess to me, right? Which I'm not gonna name. His name's
Yeah.
iGrant, by the way. He's in the gang doorbay. This person was over here talking mess, right? And
Yeah.
he and he was at the same time inside of my gang, my Wizardly gang. You know, the gang I just recruit people that want to be social and everything. It's like a little friend group. And
Yeah.
he was over here talking mess on a Discord server that had like I think like 27 people in it. And then somebody invited me to it. And then I joined and I searched my name up and it's him talking mess continuously. But earlier that same day, he was over here in my DM saying like, "Hey, there's a bot in your server, like trying to get me to like basically just helping me with my server." And then on top of
Yeah.
it, he was like talking to me on the game, and I was so confused, like, why are you saying this when you're saying that, you know? And then I DM'd him. Let me just look what I DM'd him exactly to read it off. I DM'd
Yeah.
him, hello, I am curious. What is the reason for you to be talking bad about me in other servers and yet never in DMs or PMs? And he never responded at all. And he instead blocked me on Graal and told everybody that to leave him alone about the situation, which is wild, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think.
Like,
Yeah, I
like
feel like some people they say stuff, but like they never intend for like the other side to hear it.
exactly, like it's like they just
Yeah.
talking, like they get caught talking mess behind someone's back, and now they're embarrassed, so they just want the situation to die down.
Yeah.
Like people will
Yeah.
say things like on this game, people will say things, and they wouldn't even, they wouldn't even, um, address it to your face. You know, it's
Yeah. Yeah. And
like
I,
it's
you know,
it's like they're
it's
trying
happened
to
to
be
me
toxic on
too.
purpose or something.
Yeah.
The community is pretty wild, bro. It's really really
It's
wild.
yeah. It's another beast. Yeah, like I don't know, I just feel like kind of
Like
yeah, and
currently
I
some.
guess the other thing is like, like the I don't know, I guess I mean I feel like there's just a lot of like stigmas around that community like, you know, like support is a big one. Like support does respond, right? They might not be perfect to respond to everyone, but there's a big thing that's like, oh, support never responds, which isn't true,
Well,
Support does respond. They may not respond to everything, if there's duplicate of the same thing or, maybe they skip the email and miss it, It's not that they don't respond ever. Like I feel like there's a lot of like misconceptions, especially
the
about a lot
reason
of
why
things.
people think that they don't respond is because in the past they didn't respond really. They really didn't
Yeah,
respond.
yeah,
So that's why people still think that they don't respond.
yeah, yeah,
But other than that, they respond now.
yeah, yeah,
It's just OGs and everything. People don't really trust it anymore. Like they don't have anything to report because they haven't set in their mind that they don't respond.
yeah,
It sucks.
yeah. And I think a lot of it is just, oh, I sent an email and they never responded for this many years. But like you only sent one email.
Mhm.
Like you never sent any like if you've never sent any follow-ups if they miss your email, like you need to send a follow-up. Like if they miss your email, you need to send a follow-up at the very least.
Mhm.
And I think most people don't realize that, that support's getting a lot of emails. each day.
Yeah, that's I think that's it. I think that's
Yeah, like that's a huge thing, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't change it now, you know? Other than what you can do to, like, with most of these situations, all you can do is just try to remediate and figure out how you can, like, fix it the best that you can, even though you may not be able to, like, fully ever fix it, you know?
mhm.
You know, a really bad one is the accounts. The accounts is probably like, the worst example. Uh, or maybe, like, a really good example, but, like, it's probably the worst situation you probably don't even know about. So with the iPhone servers, they introduced a new database for accounts, whereas previously it was using the Player Worlds database, right, to store accounts. And so with the iServers, right, they introduced this new form of account, but the problem is you can't merge the two databases no matter what you do. So when like as of right now, right, you have the Worlds app. You can technically log into both an iServer account and a Player Worlds account, but the problem is that we have to have two separate places to log in because um because of these different accounts that you would actually have in different databases, and so it's really hard to figure out how to like put them in a way that users will understand, oh, I have to log in that way, or oh, I have to log in this way because this is the type of account that I've been using. And it's something that we're trying to fix, but it's kind of difficult because it's like, oh, we can't just like put them together somehow, you know,
Mhm.
into one sign in. You know, it's impossible because you could create an account on both databases with the same email. So it's practically impossible to merge them.
Mhm.
Um,
But that's I think that's all the questions I got. Only wrote down like 5, but I think that's all of them.
but yeah, like there's a lot of problems that you just can't fix on here. You know, stuff that's broken. That's like it just has to be broken. You just can't fix that now. You know, it's too late.
Mhm.
So I understand why it was separated in the first place. That's because they needed a faster database for the iPhone servers, and they couldn't do it with the existing PlayWorlds one. I understand why it was separate, right? But you know, it can't be merged. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, yeah, I mean, Graal, I feel like realistically, like, there's a chance to make a comeback, right? It's just, it's going to take a lot of time to develop these things that players have been looking for many years, you know? And there's really only a very, very small team of people who can actually develop that stuff that players have been asking for an extremely long amount of time, you know?
Mhm.
Um, because what players have been asking for to be implemented into the game, like quality of life wise, have needed engine updates to fix them. So and like for a long time there wasn't a team qualified to do that, and that's why I feel like right now we're kind of in this weird dead spot because there hasn't been a team for so long who's been qualified to make those updates and to be able to do them, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and like even large updates on servers, like one developer alone may not necessarily be able to make the whole update. So it's it's a challenge really because of really the lack of developers is really probably one of the biggest issues, if not the biggest. Other than, you know, the community is a big thing as well, but the lack of developers is most definitely has to be the largest issue of them all. You know, right now, like my sole focus is Deltaria, but like other servers have asked me to come on and help them fix things because they don't have the people to do it. So, but hey, I mean, constant demand, it always gives me stuff to do. I'm always working on something, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's kind of crazy because I'll have maybe 5 or 10 tasks on my hands to get done at the same time. But yeah, just really like buckle down and get them all done. You know, that's the way to do it. Just bang them out one by one. Just like, okay, I worked on this today. Okay, I'm gonna go work on this other thing now. I'm gonna go work on this. You know, and as long as you can progress on the things that you commit to, that's really what's key. You know, you don't want to commit to too much and then not be able to progress on it, because then that'll lead you to a point where people go, oh, why isn't it done yet? Oh, it's not, you know, I haven't seen you working on it, you know. Whereas if you divide your time up right, and you can say, okay, it's going to take me 2 hours to complete this, 3 hours to do this, 4 hours to do that. Okay, where can I fit that into my schedule, you know? Like, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And
But is there anything else that you see Grawl? Like, any comments about Grawl?
like, what do you mean, like?
Like anything you want to say that's that's about Grawl?
I guess, um, I guess right now, like, really, I'm excited because, see, here's the thing, right? Grawl wouldn't be anything without the players it has, right? It'd be nothing. You know, if there was no players, it'd be gone already. You know, so really, uh, like what I'm most excited for, like what the players might be most excited for is the updates, right? They're probably most excited for, ooh, what's coming next? Ooh, you know, this new thing, or ooh, this, you know. But what I'm excited for from a different perspective is for them to see it and their reaction. That's what I'm most excited for. Like rather than like, you know, whatever, but like I'm most excited for the players to see what's coming next. And I'm excited to like be able to build that thing that's coming next. That's what's most meaningful to me, really, is that like I have this opportunity to build stuff that players have been looking for a long time, which is really rare. And yeah, definitely just, you know, keep going, grind it all out, and but like I'm excited, like I'm most excited for the players to see what I'm able to build, you know, and that they enjoy it. You know, that's the it's such a weird thing, but it's like that's what just keeps me going. You know, the fact that I push something out and then hundreds or thousands of people see it and go, "Oh, that's cool." You know, that's what drives me to keep going right now, rather than quit and go somewhere else and do something else. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I got some, I mean, Deltaria. Deltaria is probably going to be the hugest thing to come out in at least 10 years. By a long shot. By a long shot. Um, and like so many people have been looking like to play Deltaria and get into it, you know. And that's really exciting to me because they're like, oh, they're interested, you know.
When is
Like now's the
Deltaria coming out?
time. We don't have a release date yet because there's a lot broken about the game right now that is not quite ready. But it's really close. It's like, I mean, I know a lot of people have been saying it for a long time, but like truly, it's really close.
You need any more levels?
Uh, on Deltaria right now, it's mostly script bugs and statting issues.
Oh.
Uh, but like once that those kinks can be worked out and the game can pretty much be finalized, I think that's when, like, even if not everything is completed bug wise and stuff, you know, if 99% is completed and 10% is still bugged, that's okay. I see that as okay, that we should launch it at that point. But right now, I feel like Deltaria is at a point where it's 70% complete, is how I'm going to state it. Is that like 70% of things work perfectly and are functional, but like that, like 30% still isn't finished or doesn't work, is bugged, you know?
Mm.
But yeah, working out that last like 20% that really needs to be finished, I think is key to pushing it towards a launch. Um, because 70% already works, and it's already built. But
Okay, so
yeah,
all
and I
right.
feel like another certain amount could be built after the fact. That doesn't need to be there day one. That could be an improvement after the fact.
Okay.
Like they wanted to do more stuff with like because Deltaria has a full weather system and day night system, but right now certain areas don't have it built for it, and I think that's like you could see out here um, that we have it's dark out, there's clouds, there's stuff walking around, like the NPCs walking around, there's
Let me rejoin real quick.
different lighting. Here.
I see. I see. I see. I see.
Yeah, like we have a full weather system, but like certain areas we wanted to improve the lighting on and make it look nicer and improve the weather and some of the NPCs to where they do certain things at day or night. Um, but as of right now, I see that kind of as like an improvement that could be done after the fact, after the game is launched. It's not imperative that the game has those things upon launch. It'd be nice, but like it's not needed.
Okay.
But Deltaria, yeah, I'm certain it's gonna pop off as soon as it launches. And Deltaria has actually new gameplay that isn't on any other server. We have a whole outdoor farming system here where you can grow crops and stuff. You can there's a whole mine up here. There's a whole mine where you can mine rocks and stuff. Uh, there's a panning job where you can pan for minerals. Like stuff that no other server like actually has yet in some way. We have a dungeon system where you can go through and defeat enemies and do quests. To obtain items. You can craft things um, like there's a lot of stuff that no other server has done. Every server right now, like iPhone server, is using the same menu system. Deltaria has an entirely different menu system that it uses from any other server. It's not the same old stale comes down from the top menu. Um, we do have some of that, but like it's different. Like you have your profile, you have your um, the talents menu is entirely new because we have classes on Deltaria. You can pick your class and then you can use the skills from those classes. Um, but yeah, like the skills because we have levels in the weapons and not weapons, but like we have the jobs all have levels. So we have the skills menu for all the different levels you can go through. You can see them all in one page. Um, but yeah, like it's like 70% of the way there. But once that last like 20% is completed, I think that it's ready to be ready to launch.
Mhm.
It's close, but not quite, and I don't have a date on it because I don't know how much time it's going to take me to finish that last bit of the game.
Okay. 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 So, is
But
there
yeah,
any final
the
words?
team's active. Uh, I guess I'm gonna say just get ready because we're gonna make this game like Graal's gonna be awesome again. I'm gonna do it no matter what it takes right now. It's gonna take a lot of time, but like it's gonna like we're gonna bring it back for real. Like I think some people have lost hope, but like we're gonna bring it back. It's gonna come back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Deltaria, and like all these improvements you see are like mostly Deltaria staff's work. But like Deltaria, like that's the meat. Like right now, we've given like everyone on every other server has like a taste, like they have a little nibble. But like Deltaria is the meat that's gonna bring Graal back.
Mm-hmm.